some of the lectures of week 5. Okay, it's more about editors. It's not about not much like a conceptually, not like a programming aspect, but how you are writing a program within a terminal. Okay. Yeah, it's a general, it's open session. Yeah, you have to start. Any questions?
I went through the first lecture. Good afternoon, this is Bimlesh. I went through the first lecture of week 5, and it mostly looks like one has to practice all these things several times.
Okay. Not every editor you have to practice. Okay. What I am saying.
These are basic Unix editor
Yes.
commands.
Yeah.
And
What I am
mostly it will be
suggesting
there
is,
in the Vim editor, correct?
Yeah. But primarily you can focus on VI, Vim, or Emacs. You can always use Nano or Ed. Ed is always be there in the Linux for whatever the distribution you are using.
Yes, because it comes
Yeah.
something like as a parent bundle.
Yes.
And if one is choosing Vim editor, then most of these 8 commands are already there.
Yes.
But the thing I was trying to tell that it looks like one has to practice several times, and there will be so many more commands applicable to editor kind of environment, and wrote it by heart. If
it needs a lots of. I mean, let's say I'm not primarily using Emacs so far, so I'm not I'm biased towards Vim, but even learning Vim takes years. I mean, what I'm saying is, after getting through few weeks, you get to know these are the very easy way with lesser time or lesser key combinations. So you will change your configuration accordingly. So it will be different for everyone. That's what I am saying. Some people like Vim, some people like Emacs, some people even like Nano. Yeah, it's totally different for everyone, but it will take some time. Try out everything, find what is more suitable for you.
Just rather a general suggestion, rather request, not a suggestion, request, that after quiz 1, what I feel, at least for me, that there is a requirement. I feel that there should be kind of question bank given, say 200 or rather 500 questions to practice, because it becomes a little difficult to practice anything further other than what is already available, as in assignments or activity questions, or solve with instructor kind of sessions. And if anything not covered there, then either it is expected to go through the entire reference book as given in the course introduction page, which looks a little Herculean task.
I agree, but the way we are looking is, it's not based on question and answer. You have to explore. That's the thing we are expecting.
Exactly. So for as a help from the course team, for exploring anything in such a vast area, if certain model question bank can be given, then that will at least help to go into a particular direction rather than going here and there.
I agree, but it's not a very useful case, because from the majority point of view, people only want to try question. I mean, see question and answer those questions. People are lacking the fact that you have to logically go through a man page and look into it. Let's say if you are, let's say assume a situation you don't have internet. Okay, if you are using Linux, you can do all on your own. Whatever, all the contents are within your system. You don't need to go internet for any packages. Most of the helps are available there. So we want you to explore inside the man page. That's the one primary aim of this course as well, because we don't want you to simply search on the Google. I mean, it's okay, it is fine if you are new, but after some time you should explore. I mean, use the natively available packages or whatever the help inside the OS itself. That is more than enough for us. Of course, if you, let's say most of the command doesn't have examples, let's say there is a package called tldr. For that, you can, it will give you example for that. Say, okay, I'm sharing the screen. Actually, what I'm saying is this is not an inbuilt package. It will be it is an external package. TLDR. It will give the examples for how to list a directory. Whatever the most of the oftenly used packages like ls or anything like that. Like vi simply emacs. These are it's very few things which you are using a lot. Let's say zip. Let's say you forgot the how to use the options. Either you can, many ways are there. Either you can use the man page to find it, yeah, or else you can use the help. One thing regarding the help is if you double hyphen help will give you most of options in a very brief manner. Man page is a very like a vast environment. It will be very much detailed, but help will mostly help the options and what does it do. Or else you can use tldr zip. It will give it along with the examples. How can you do that or like that? These are the things are available, but even say I'm saying I'm not that much recommending tldr then help or man page. Yeah, it's on another way. The thing is, you should not go out of the terminal to do anything. That's the thing. Also, more often we don't want to use the mouse as well. Yeah, I agree, but it is the primary intention of this course as well. So that's why we are not giving any, I mean, very vast question bank or like that. You
But
have
I
to,
still feel that if given, that will definitely help many people, many new learners like me, for whom this is a totally new area.
yeah, I agree, totally agree. What I am suggesting is just, I mean, let's say immerse yourself in a terminal. Don't go out of the terminal. Let's say, let's take a decision. You should not go out of the terminal to do anything at all. Copy, paste, or whatever it is. Just then you will be stuck. Then Google search it. It's totally agree. I agree. Google searches or visit the man page, visit the help, and solve the issue. Let's say you don't know how to move a file from one directory to some other directory in some other machine. If you do it occasionally, it will, if you'll get getting little by little, you'll get experienced with these things. Later, you know, if even once you know where it can be located, you can easily search it. The thing which we lack with these things is, let's say you don't know which package to use to perform certain operation. At that time alone, I more often use Google or any search engines to get the operation done. Anything else?
Sure, one question.
Yes.
When we try to print write echo dollar username,
Okay.
it assumes that dollar username is a string. It is not manipulating the value of username. But when we try to write echo dollar pwd, it is manipulating the pwd. So why there is differences in these two variables?
Okay. Manipulation in terms of string manipulation, you are saying?
Yes, sir. When you write echo dollar pwd, it is going to print the current working directory.
Yes.
When you write echo dollar username, it is just printing dollar username. I mean, both are variables, cell variable, I think.
Yeah. Actually, I don't even know why it's happening like that.
Sir, is it
Because
because of the different quote marks, the double quotes and the single quotes? We had to
Yeah,
question
actually,
like
I
that.
can do the manipulation here, right? I'm using replacement. I think more often it almost works in the same way.
Because this was question in the quiz one, sir.
Okay.
So it was echo and PWD in single quote and dollar
Oh, okay,
username
got
in
it.
double quote.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
You are
That was
referring
the
to a
question.
single quote and double quote. Oh, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. In let's say if you came with the Python, right? Single quote and double quote almost performs like a same way, but in shell here in Linux it's different. Okay. Let's say if you are using double quote, you can pass you can take a variable shell variable and use it here. Okay, you can use it. But if you are using single quote, whatever you are giving, it will be printed exactly as it is.
Okay, sir, we did not have that much idea about these differences.
Actually, it was explained on the
No,
lectures
this
as
was
well.
one of the question in the activation as well.
Yeah, activity
Same.
or graded. It was the exact same question. You're right.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, sir.
Okay. Also, one more thing with the echo is, or two more options you have to know is, one is -n. It will not include the new line character at the end. Okay, I already have new line character here, so it's not printing new line here. Also, one more thing, you have to use -e to do like a the / character, new line, tab, all those things. It will be much useful, or else you can use printf as well. It will be like more like a C, like here you can pass any variables as well.
So when we write a backtick, like echo backtick,
Okay.
$pwd backtick, and what is the use of this backtick?
Okay. Generally, backtick is used to evaluate a command and take the output. Let's say I want to evaluate the command. Okay, let's say I don't have it. Okay, let's say I have a directory pwd. It's a command here. Okay, I'm not using the shell variable. I want to save it in a variable p. I'm using backtick pwd. If I whatever the output came from the pwd, right? That command, it is stored into a variable p.
Okay.
Yeah. It is
Means we cannot. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Means we cannot directly write echo backtick $pwd.
Yeah, you can do that as well. Like one more way, echo. In that case, you have to use the shell variable pwd. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still the same. The same backtick is similar to another syntax is you can hyphen, open a parenthesis, and write your command. It also is exactly in the same way, just like a backtick.
And sir, when we write echo backtick $pwd, what will happen?
Okay. This one, right?
No. Echo, directly write echo backtick $pwd. Backtick.
Okay. Actually, it's executing a command and give it into here.
It seems like it is misbehaving because it is also giving output as well as it is giving some error like is the directory.
Actually, it's not a proper syntax we are using here. Okay. Actually, it is executing as a command. Yeah. Says it's a directory. So yeah, it's not a proper syntax we use. In that case, right here, what should be right there? If you want to print the directory, it should be echo Within a double quotes, it should be $pwd.
Sir, can you please help with the script syntax for programming assignments?
Okay, which tag you want? Script syntax.
No, syntax. I mean, the way we have to submit the programming assignments, right?
Yeah.
So there is the templates are provided.
Yeah.
Despite following the template, it complains saying that
okay,
with the
let's say,
syntax.
yeah, I also saw some posts on Discourse, but as far as I know, there is some issue on portal. So one thing which always works is if you wrote your loops are conditional within a single line, it works. Let's
Okay,
say,
can you please explain
okay,
with an example?
Okay, sure. Yeah, like that. In portal, you have to use the semicolon as well. So
if there are multiple lines after, then
then it's totally fine. Let's say if you are using a if, then after you have a for, then it's totally fine. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. Like this you can use.
okay, but this template was not provided as a valid template in the list, right?
Yeah, because writing in a one line is not a easy thing, right? I mean, for debugging visually, so it always works. But yeah, that
So,
also,
are you going to fix the portal to take in the multi-line submissions?
If it is not clear, we will take some actions. If it's not cleared, there will be some other way of submitting the assignment.
No, but you are aware that it is not working, is it?
Yeah, but the thing is, it is working sometime, it's not working some other time. That's the issue. Whatever the template which I given, right, it is working for some time. Sometime if I execute the command, it works. After some time, it's not working. I'm not sure why it's behaving like that. Yeah, if it's continuous, it is not resolvable, not usable for you, there will be some actions will be taken.
Also, in some problems, you have mentioned that we have to write something by name .sh, whereas you have provided only script flower bracket, right? So
can you specify the assignment name?
Just a second. GRPA 1.
Okay.
So there you mentioned that write a bash script named is file present.sh. But the placeholder that you gave contains a script parenthesis flower bracket.
Okay.
Is it automatically going to consider it as?
Just write. There is an issue. Okay, it's strong, but you don't need to create anything bash script or like that. You have to write your code within the script, that function, right? Within the whatever the area given, write your code there. That will work.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, even that single line thing is not working. It is coming back with a syntax error on the flower bracket.
Okay.
So unexpected token, and it says it is complaining about the flower bracket.
Yeah, I'll check it 1 second. Actually, it's working for me. Okay, you can see the screen, right? So it is the graded assignment 1. Okay, I simply wrote a for loop. That's all. It didn't throw any output for me. I didn't throw any error for me.
So it's also working for me if we write a single line.
Is it working now?
Yes, yes. Single line it's working,
Yes,
but
I mean,
multiple line not.
always single line always works. Anyway, I will add that to the template as well. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. One important thing with respect to VI. Okay, I'll share the screen now. I mean, it's a very important thing when you are using a VI. Okay. Type VI and hyphen version. Okay, it will show some version all those text. Just find clipboard. Okay, so if you are seeing plus clipboard, it means VI will use a different clipboard for internally. Let's say if you are copy pasting text within the editor, there is if you use a simply Y for Yang, you cannot copy paste into some other text field. Let's say you opened a browser, there is you have to paste something, it will not work. So in that case, you have to use the double quote and the plus register, then Yang. I think I'll explain it. Yeah.
Yeah, can you please explain?
Yes, sir. Okay. Let's say if you one thing, if you have minus clipboard, this option will not work for you. Okay, if you want to get the option, what you have to install is you have to install Vim GTK. Okay, this package, right? You have to install this package, Vim GTK 3. If you install this package, you will get the plus keyboard option. Okay, I'll share the whole screen. Okay, is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. Here I opened the Vim terminal. Let's say if I'm copying using Yang. Okay, one more. Okay, now you can see what I am typing as well. Okay, the backspace and some other character will be shown as this card box thing. Just be aware of it. I'm using capital V for whole line selection. Then I'm using the J. Okay. Whole selection. I'm using J for next lines. I am yanking using Y. Okay, it's copied. Okay. If I come and press P, it will paste it here. But only if I yank using double quote plus Y, then only I can copy paste here. Okay, I am simply yanking, I'm copying using simply Y. I selected the text, copied it, simple line. Here I am pasting. Still I'm getting the old output because that is the one stored in the Ubuntu's the operating system clipboard.
So we need to press plus and then do Y, is it?
No, not plus. It is double quote plus and Y. This is the key you have to pay plus. Also, if you want to paste it from the system clipboard, you have to use P. The same thing, Y and P, copying and paste. If you want to store it into some register, you have this plus register and star register are used by default by Ubuntu. Let's say if you want to save these lines, right? Let's say I want to save the first line in some register, I can use plus. I want to store in a register A and yank it. Okay. If I am simply paste, last time I copied this, so I'm getting this. If I want to paste this, which is stored in a register A, I have to use in a normal mode. So in insert mode. In normal mode, I have to, okay, so plus double quote A paste. There are multiple registers you can copy into. So it's one way. The main thing is you have to only know about this plus register, plus and star. Then only you can copy paste across applications. You can, you can use your regular mapping into store using the Vim, in a background script Vim configuration. You can do that. It's one way which is provided by default. Or else you can use, if it's not a big text, simply some words, you can select it using in the terminal and Control Shift C. It will copy and it will paste it here. That also works, but generally it's one thing which you need a lot. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Have anyone looked into the Vim or Emacs and tried it out? Any questions regarding that editors?
Now, what is the best way of practicing these things, right? Okay, we could follow whatever professor was explaining.
Yeah.
In terms of the keys that we need to press, and also the cheat sheet is available.
Yes.
Is there any efficient way of practicing this through some exercises?
Okay, what I am suggesting, the easiest thing is use Vim or Emacs, whatever the editor you want, make it as a primary editor for you. Don't use any other editor. Whatever the task you are doing, do it on that only. That's all. That's the practice. Because something which I need a lot will not be not at all required for you. Some operation what I am doing. So in that case, write your assignments on VI. In Replit as well, you have if you go to the settings and you can change the key map to VI or Emacs. That's also available. So if you are using Replit, go there and change the key map to VI. Once you're comfortable with the HJKL, this navigation or whatever the Emacs combination for moving around, right? You will come once you get comfortable, you already always seek that combination only, because if you are using HJKL in Vim, you don't need to go. I mean, let's say ergonomically, it is very easy for you. You don't need to go and use your finger to move on the right arrow, left arrow. You don't need to do that. So it's very easy. More often, your entire hand will be within the keyboard in the center part only.
And what is the package that you told to install for plus clipboard?
Vim GTKit.
Okay.
I just installed it.
Yeah. I mean, if it comes with a default plus keyboard, it's not required. But if it's minus clipboard, you have to install it. Then
For me it's minus clipboard.
Yeah. Check it after Vim -help. Yeah.
So a quick question.
Yeah.
Maybe I've already answered. Will we be using these commands for some course later in this program, or is it just good to know?
I mean, with respect to editor, you are asking?
I know. So this overall Linux command set and all the things you're learning, grep, will this be useful for us?
Yes. I mean, let's say if you are getting to networking, right? Primarily Linux is mainly involved. When you are getting to a server, you have to use the Linux commands.
So we'll be actually doing this, logging onto a Linux server and doing these things.
Yes. If your course is requires that, yes, surely.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Even if you if anyone taken the MAD course, you see the SARS lecture also using Linux commands only. You are using curl to get all those things. You may see mostly in networking, Linux is the primary thing. You have to know this. Also, the primary use of this editor is you are working inside a terminal, so it should be totally text based. You don't have any image at all. So that's why there's editors like Vim and Emacs are useful. Also, Emacs offers GUI as well. So if you want to try that out, you can. Many of one have you asked the question that Vim is the best or Emacs is the best. Actually, there is no correct answer to that. Whatever suits you, it is best for you. Because Vim is considered as a lightweight than Emacs, because if you are using Emacs GUI, there is a inbuilt browser in it. You can search within the Emacs editor itself. There is a lots of features which Emacs have. Both are equally featured. Yeah, if you are using Vim, you can use lots of plugins which comes with. If you search it on internet, you will get a lot. But once you learn, all those things are very much useful once you learn the basics.
Are we going to learn sysadmin commands also in this course?
Sorry?
Are we going to learn like how to create users, means the system admin task also in this course?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. Here onwards, it will be primarily focused on text manipulation.
Okay.
Yeah, arc and set will be used primarily. I mean.
So in a single machine, like I have a Ubuntu machine, and that day you were showing like you were creating and splitting the screen on users and group and creating logging with different users. So how do you do it actually? I was not able to get.
Okay. Actually, in default, you can do it with one way is without installing any software. If you are using Ubuntu, you have GNOME terminal.
Correct.
Right? Yeah. In GNOME terminal, you can use tabs. It is one way. I mean, one of the easiest way without installing any package. You can as many tabs as you want. You can change it like that. With the shortcuts key it is provided, you can use them.
So for user creation, I will go to Like I can create user through GUI, but how to create users and groups here?
Okay. For that, you have to use user add command. So if you go to the man page of, yeah, you can add a user, and along with, if you explore it here, you can specify the user's base directory, home directory, all those things.
Okay.
Yeah. If for splitting, right? For splitting, you have to use what I am using is Tmax. It's called terminal multiplexer. So I can I can close the terminal and the session will be still stored like that. For that, you have to install the package called Tmax. But it's not a,
why would we need that to be alive even after closing? So in what situation will we need?
let's say I am running a job. Okay. So I simply close the terminal window. Simply I'm closing the window. The job will be running background only and in that's in the session.
Oh, okay.
Let's say, okay, let's in a practical scenario I am talking. When I get into a server, I want to do some task. Okay. So I can go and open a Tmax session and do the task whichever I want. It is running. I can close the session and come back. And after some time, I go and check the session. So I mean, it's not a primary requirement for this course or like that. You asked me how to split those screens. So it's one way.
Okay.
If you are using Tmax, you can, there is a command you have, it's Control B. It's configured by default. Control B %. You will get a new screen, 2 terminal. You can.
Oh, okay. We're splitting it into 2 terminals, but it will still be there. Okay.
Yes, I can execute it differently here. Yeah.
Okay. How do you give control back to the old terminal?
Okay. If you give Control D, it will get back.
And that session that you were in, that will be closed.
Yeah, if you are using Control D, it will be closed. Also, you can see the number here, right? There's 3. It is giving the session. This is the session information I have. Actually, I opened a terminal, another package called Alacrity. There, the session 0 was opened. Here, I am opened with the session code 3. So here within the session, I can open different windows as well.
Oh, so it will be within that.
Yeah.
Also, you can create another session. Okay.
Yeah.
But then you
not
will
within. It's a different. Is like a. It's a hierarchy like that session within that windows within that frames, like that. This is not related to anything with respect to course. It's just for your productivity. That's
okay.
And how do you hide this user and machine information? Or sometimes command becomes like directory path becomes very long. So if I want to just shorten it.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, 1 minute. I'll reshare it again. Okay. Here I am using a different configuration called Starship. So it's a little bit different. Let's say if I'm using simply bash. Okay. Okay, it is the default you get, right? Generally, it will be like that. User at mission and what is your current directory. So what you can do is you can change the shell variable called PS1. You want simply greater than simple. Okay. So, yeah, that's all. Here onwards, whatever you are typing, it will be simply greater than simple. It will be a prompt string.
So every start of the terminal session, I will have to do it, or I can.
Okay. For that case, you can add it into bash RC. That's a file which is located on your home directory. But it's a very important file. If you are doing something on bash RC, always make a backup out of it.
Sir, I didn't understand the purpose. What is bash RC for?
Okay, bash RC is a file which loads whenever you're executing a bash, whenever you get into a bash shell. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say if you see, initially it was different. Then I get into, I'm using the same shell here. It is bash. After that, I changed the bash RC. So whenever I execute a bash, I mean, whenever you load it by default, right, terminal, bash will be executed. Then you get into here. Okay. This during this new instance, that whatever the bash RC scripts in the bash RC will be loaded, will be interpreted, and according to you the codes, it will be changed.
Will it run? I mean, will the scripts run automatically when you enter the bash?
Yes, always. Let's say.
Okay. So what kind of commands would we need when you enter the bash itself, sir?
Okay, I mean, by default, almost it is fine. It is located in the home there. It is my bash RC file. Okay. So if let's say you have some alias. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I have alias. Let's say simply update will execute this command for me. Okay. I configured like this. These are mine. Okay. I think until down it was configured by default. Okay. Here onwards I configured some of them and add some of them. I added some alias. I set the language to be like that.
Okay.
Okay. So some other requirements I.
So if we put some cd command, it will, when we open the bash, it will automatically go to that.
Yeah. Let's say if you are using cd, let's say default, I will be in home directory. Okay. So in temp, I want to go to the temp directory. Yes, which I use most. So in that case, I'm writing out. If I execute, I mean, let's say if it's a new terminal or executing a bash within that, and default came into TMP.
Okay.
Let's say even I go to some other directory. Okay. I get into TMP. But always be careful when you are using bash RC. Always make a backup out of it.
Okay.
Let's say copy the bash RC file.
You can't set it back to default value.
Yeah, once you wrote, that's all. I mean, let's say you can remove the lines always. Okay. If you are appended something or like that, you can always remove those things. Better, you should make a backup of it. You can just copy it. It's
okay. Sir.
That's all. You made a backup.
Sir, in the test, they had a question where they were trying to execute a file /. So they were trying to grep, and after grep, it was followed by a /. So will the script be executed first, or will the grep work first?
Okay. Okay. What you are saying is after execute.
Grep.
Okay.
Yeah. You had a grep. Within that, I think they were looking for only small letters.
Okay.
So within box A to Z or something like that.
Okay.
So they had this, and then they gave / some file.
Yeah, a / is justly only to refer. It is within the current directory. That's all.
Okay, but when you execute a script, also you use /.
Yes, but that will be plain. Simply, if I want to execute a file, right, I won't use this grep, because here, if I am using grep and I'm passing as an argument, not executing a file.
Okay, so / has different context when used in different places.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing / is used for executing a file is because you are referring that file is here. That's all. That is the reason. Because by default, if you are simply it will be let's say if you are simply typing a command, it will go and search within the path. Okay. Whatever the commands, I mean, whatever the files which is present in this path will be looked down, and those are executed. But by default, your path, like your current directory, will not be in the shell, the path variable. Okay, so it will not be looked into. That's why we want the interpreter to know it is the file I'm looking for. So // it is referring to the file like that. But here the temp.sh doesn't have execute permission. Simply it says command not found. That is because it is looking into these directories. So I'm referring / only for its reference. So it will be executed. But
so this / is because it is available in the current directory. Is it so?
Yes.
Okay, so if I want to execute in from some other folder,
you can do that. Just okay. Let's say I came back. I want to execute in the file. I can use.
Oh, you have to mention.
Yeah, or else. That's all.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
The same way you know about the bash RC, right? Vim has its own configuration file, which is named as vim.vimrc. It is located in the home directory. So it is my vimrc. Initially, yeah, let's say if you are using the first time, there won't be any file named vimrc as well. So you have to create it. These are the plugins I have used in my Vim, and these are the configuration I made so far. So let's say why I'm saying is, if you are, let's say you want to open a number, by default Vim will open like this. Okay, it is the default way of loading into Vim. So every time you want to see the number, you have to set number. Okay. So, but you don't want to execute the commands every time you get into the Vim. So what you can do is, you can edit the file named .vimrc, which is located, if not located in your home folder, just create a file. That's all. You can set the numbers. Yeah, here I said number. Set number will give me the number. Set relative number means it will give a relatively, let's say my current line will be, it will show the line number. The above thing, these are above things are which will show the with relative to 1, up 2 like that. So I can easily go to the line which has set mouse equal to a by simply using 9. Okay, that's all. But just by visually I can go anywhere within the screen easily. I mean, it's totally about your experience and your productivity. It's all about you. But if you don't want to execute the same command again and again, whenever you get into a Vim editor, just use the vimrc file. Whatever the command you want to change, put into the vimrc, it will be automatically get loaded.
So the set number part I didn't understand because you're not assigning it to any particular number.
No, actually it's just a command. That's okay. Why I'm using is this command because if I'm using vim -u/none means it does not add the vimrc file. That's why I'm using it here. Then only it looks like a unconfigured Vim. Okay. If I'm in the executing mode, ex mode, if I'm say set nu or set number, it will give me the line number for it. That's the only.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I thought you have to assign it to a particular.
No, not like that. Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm giving
what capabilities does Vim have? I mean, where do we use Vim and over Bash? As in, is there any particular specialty for Vim?
Okay, actually, Bash and Vim are totally different. Vim is an editor. Let's say Vim is just a package like that. It's just an editor. What Bash is a shell. Shell is the communication medium between a user, us, and the operating system. Just like a UI, you can say what we are seeing in the screen is just a UI, which is the communicating between back and forth between us, right? Operating system and the user. Just the same way, within a text, in a text only with text, we are using shell. Bash is one of the shell. There are multiple shells. Are there fish or KSH, CSH? Those are things that are there, but both have different syntax and all those things.
So should we know everything, or is it just a choice that we have chosen Bash for?
Okay, more often, most of the Linux kernel, I mean, when you go into any Linux, right, you have Bash. Mostly it will be preferred. But in Mac, like, you know, if you go to Mac, I think Z shell is the defaultly configured one. So almost these share most of very basic commands same. Like say cd, ls, and echo. These are the very basic commands. If you know Bash, it will be easy. Let's say you want a shell, fish shell. Okay, you are comfortable with that. At least you know few Bash commands to work around upon little. You can change the shell later.
Okay.
You can change. I mean, let's say you can change a fish as or a primary shell. That's not
But
an issue. But
the
this
purpose
course
of
is,
all this is same.
yes, I mean, it's just a medium between you and the operating system. Something will be advanced or something will be older, but yeah, it's totally up to you. It does not hinder your job or like that. Yeah, but this course concern, we are primarily using Bash.
Okay. So with respect to grep commands, we have so many usages of grep and egrep. So sometimes what happens is we get confused between the syntax because both are doing the same job, but has different syntaxes because they have some capabilities.
Actually, the syntax is not very much different.
Yeah, that's why we are getting confused, actually.
Yeah. The thing is, you know, what are the characters you have to escape? That's the only thing. Let's say you can make yourself permanently fixed to egrep or grep. It's totally fine.
Yes,
Even if you are using grep, right, you can always use -e in the case you want to switch into egrep. If you want to use extended regular expression.
Okay, sir. So because we just wanted to know, is it necessary to know both? Because sometimes we make mistakes while.
No, not necessary to learn both, but at least you know. The
One
thing
of
is,
it.
yeah, it's not actually not much different. The only difference you have is escaping characters and some more functionality. That's all.
Yeah, for example, this box, before that you include a quote and then you include a not. For egrep, the syntax is different. You don't use a quote. So these kind of small differences.
No. Actually, no. Even grep, you don't need to use the quote. You don't need to use any quote in grep unless it is a single word. Let's say if I am not searching for if in a term.sketch, right? Then I don't have to use the double quote. Double quote will give some more way. I can take a space in between all those things. But if you are searching for a very simple English word, right?
Escape sequence.
Yeah, it works.
Okay.
Even it works.
No, if I use something like dollar or pound symbol that I want to search for.
Yeah, in that case, you have to use double quote. Double quote will be very much useful when you are using a variable here. Let's say a is equal to a variable name. Let's say 5. Okay, you want to saved in a variable and you have to use it here. I think even it works, but if you are using some complicated expression, using double quotes is always good.
Okay.
Say here I'm using the variable a, so it will take 5 here and match it with it.
Okay, sir.
Sir, so can I request you to explain one more time that string manipulation, the hash and the percentage?
Okay. use here. Yeah. If you are using hash, it will keep the pattern, but if you are using percentage, it will remove the pattern. If let's say even if you are confused, right, you can always go to man bash manual. Okay, you can always go to the pattern system. Yeah, here, which is under the section parameter expansion. If you go here, it will be everything will be explained. If you want to remove a matching pattern, you have to use hash. Sorry, if I am. Yeah, matching prefix pattern. Yeah, it will match the pattern and remove prefix. So it will remove the suffix of the pattern. I mean, including the pattern. It may
Can
be.
you give an example?
Yeah.
What is shortest matching pattern and longest matching pattern? It was like percent
Okay.
and percent.
Yeah, I mean all the patterns. Let's say. Here we are asking, right? Shortest matching pattern. Let's say there is only one pattern. That will be that only. I mean, the first match it will be removed like that. That's a matching thing.
Okay.
If you are using
I mean, the first one will be for a single percent side, and if there are several,
yeah.
then double percent. Okay.
Yes. I mean, it's a little bit even confusing, even for me still now. So with the, I mean, after summing tryout, you can get it.
Okay. Thank you.
The thing is, whatever with reference to bash, right? You can always refer the bash manual here. Even if you don't know, immediately you need to know something, you can always refer the bash manual.
Sir, could you please show us how to create the another user in the terminal?
Yeah.
Like so that we can manage the privileges in the two groups. I still didn't got how to do it.
Okay. Actually, okay. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. I have to be a. I should. If I want to create a user, I should have the sudo permission. Yeah, another user is created here. Okay. Okay, it is not accepting because I didn't set the password for the user. guest 3. Yeah. Okay, it's giving me. Yeah. Yeah. Now I can I get into the who am I? I mean the guest 3 which I created. If you are using sudo command with the user add and the username, it will create the new user. Actually, also
to switch, we can use SU.
yes. Actually, there is a difference between SU and login as a user. Okay. Let's say I cannot show you that here because I am restricted to one console. Let's say if you are using Ubuntu, you can Control Alt and F3. It will open another screen. Then that asks for your login and login and password. There you can log it into a user. Okay. Always you can go back to the primary one, which is Control Alt F2. It's just like many people using the same system at the same time like that. Let's say your UI got crashed. Okay. Let's say in a situation, you can always click Control Alt F3 and go to the another login as the same user in another console. You can do that. You can do whatever the change you want like that. But that is logging as a user. But here I am the user. Let's say that's why the echo username is giving Krishnan and the user is giving guest 3. Actually, I logged in as a Krishnan, which is my primary username. Then I switched to guest 3, which is the user. But all those things, what I'm doing, right, it is stored in the auth.log file.
So if the system gets crashed, so the things that you were doing in the previous session gets lost that way, or can that also be
depending
recovered?
on the what type of crash we are having. Okay, let's say my system is crashed only on GUI part. Okay, in that case, I can always do. You can always go and open Control Alt F3, or there is a multiple console there. Like Control Alt F1 is permanently given for the login screen. F2 is the default GUI you are seeing. Control Alt F2. If you go to Control Alt F3, F4, F5, F6, 4 different other login like login prompt you have. So at the time, let's say 5 users can be logged at the same time within the same system if you are using Ubuntu. Maybe
and so these new users are for permanent basis, right? Even if we reopen the terminal, the user credentials will be there, or it gets deleted as we
no. It will be permanent. Until and unless you are removing a user, it will be permanent. But okay, here I get into the user, right? So yeah, but I'm not belong to any of the groups because the guest 3 is not belong to any of the groups.
So if let's say I'm logging in the second session also with the same user.
Okay.
Will the old the things that I did in that other terminal?
No, it will be the same. Let's say my username is Krishnan, right? I can log in into a multiple console, even the 6. Even I can open. Let's say I can access my computer within another laptop which I connected to the same network.
Oh.
That is also possible at the same time.
So if I type history, will all the commands come that you used in the other session?
No. That will be a little different. It in the same. Actually, history is working a little bit different. Yeah. Also, if you get click up arrow, right, press up arrow, that also not works with for all the user. Even it won't work with if you are using. Let's say my previous command is user add guest 3. If I get into the bash, even that won't work.
Sir, can you please repeat the difference between sudo and su?
SEO is for switch user. Sudo means super user do.
Sir, like when I use su in my bash on my Linux, it gets me to the root user only, like admin
Let's say,
user.
okay, actually that's a very special thing. If you are using sudo SEO, it means you are switching to super user. But if you are using simply SEO, it means switch user. I have another username guest. It's here. I switch to guest. But if I am using sudo SEO, it will not work because because currently I am a guest, so I don't have the privilege that. So I get back to myself and sudo SEO. Now I become a super user. I mean, the username becomes root.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Better we should not use this root as often as possible, because let's say even me, like the initial days, I don't want to use the sudo command again and again, so I get into a sudo SU and become root user. And let's say it's my first stage of learning Linux, right? So at that time I used sudo SU and created some directories. Later when I used let's say I am using that directory, I can't able to access it because that directories are owned by root. Let's say I'm switching to root user. Let's say super user. The super user is creating directory and all those files, so I cannot use it. So it always use, if you want some privilege, always use su super user do sudo. Don't change your user into super user and do the manipulation unless and until that is required. It's a very hardware level issues are not an issue. Any modification which goes deeper, only the super user can do that. So until unless on those things, don't switch into super user. Simply use sudo command. That's all. That's enough. I mean, let's say you are the primary user, so you are in most of the all important groups. So you are in admin group, you are in sudo group. Yeah, that's enough for most of the things. Okay. Anything else?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Suppose, sir, there is a file 1.
Okay.
And you are the owner of that file. And group of one of the group is group A.
Okay.
And permission is like group A can only read the file.
Okay.
And the permission for other is read, write, and executable.
Okay.
And I am in the group A. Okay.
Okay.
So will I able to write that particular file?
No. Let's say if you are in a group, you are not the owner of the file. Okay. So only concerning you are in the group. Okay. So you can only read the file. You cannot write and execute the file.
Sir, will I be considered as a other user?
No. Linux, it is actually the same thing I explained in the revision system as well. So let's say if you are part of a group, then you will be considered as a group, not others.
Okay. Means if permission for other is read, write, executable, even permissions are read, write, executable, but I will not be able to execute or write that file.
Yes, I think it's related to one of the quiz question as well, I think.
Yes, sir. It is also related.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Just a suggestion and even a let's say a request or like that. You can say always use whatever the editor of your choice. I mean, get into the terminal now from here onwards. From 5 onwards, whatever you are doing for this course, at least for this course, use this terminal and make like a depend on the terminal or like that, then then only you can use the full potential of any editor, V editor or Emacs or whatever. You can use the full potential of it. Always, if you are lacking something, whenever you feel you need something which is lacking, it is already present somewhere in the VI or Emacs, whatever editor you are using. Simply need a plugin or simply need a script. That's all.
Can we highlight some keyword using some plugin in VI editor? Like what if suppose I'm writing Java or Python?
Yes, yes, you can. Actually, it not even need a plugin for that.
Okay.
Actually, here okay. Here I'm detected file type as shell file. So here everything is highlighted, right? So for that, what you have to do is set file type equal to what are the Python. I mean, here I changed the file thing. It's not much relevant, just for explaining you. Now, whatever the syntax here and also I'm doing, right? It will detect the Python syntax.
So we'll have to set it exclusively. It will not take from the extension.
No, you can. That is also for that you have to use the. You have to include the same one command in vimrc. Okay. File type on, you have to use it. If you are using this sequence of command, right? File type and on, then it automatically detect the file type on its own. Say if I remove this file, yeah. It will not detect, yeah. Actually, I wrote it somewhere, but this command is responsible for that. Yeah, here it is. File type on. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, writing the graded assignment programs, the complex ones in a single line is a challenge, sir.
Yes, yeah, that's also. So what I would suggest is, let's say, I mean, if possible, write your code in your local computer. Okay, just in let's say I know what Vim. So if you are clicking Control J, right, it will automatically opens all the file, all the lines. Just copy paste it. I mean, it's one way I know. Also, for that you have to add a semicolon, right? So one other way you can write your natively wrote your bash script and select it. I mean, say you can select the specific lines using visual mode or like that. Then click use a regular expression for every ending. Add a semicolon. G for global. It will add a semicolon on every line. Or else you can create a macro. For macro, you have to use the Q. Then after any number we are assigning to. Let's say I'm QQ, it means recording a macro on Q. So here onwards, whatever I am doing will be recorded. I am going to the last line, last character using dollar symbol. I'm getting into insert mode using, I'm entered a semicolon. Then getting back to normal mode, come to the next line, going to the first part. I closed the macro by Q. For executing the macro, at the symbol and the macro name. So it's creator here.
So how do we convert that into single line, you said?
Shift J. I mean capital J. If you are using capital J,
should we go to the end of the line and do, or we can do
no, any line. It will append to the current line and the next line with a space. If there is nothing inside, it will append with simply a space. Separate it with a space by default.
Control Shift J?
Sorry,
J
sorry. Simply Shift J.
Okay. So this will.
I mean, it's the only thing I.
No, because locally it is working fine.
Yeah. After that,
Only
you can copy paste with using a double quote plus and Y. You can copy and paste it on portal. That's also fine. But given here, if you are writing on a single line, you have to properly complete it with a semicolon. One thing, you should not use a semicolon after them.
Means I.
Okay, let's say we discuss about this part. Okay, only the if part. Because then is a specific command which is like it's a special command. We have to use it after if, like that. So if you are using, you should not use a semicolon after them. Then it will not work.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But then after whatever the commands, you can use multiple commands here. Okay.
So if I have a, let's say, while, and I have a if and a normal statement, then should we put semicolon after if?
Yes. Yeah, you are saying okay, if then and multiple statement, right?
After if there is a couple of statements.
Yes, you have to.
Now after fee, I mean.
Yes, you have to put a semicolon for the end of the command. After fee, it's fine. The same goes for do as well. For do, while do.
So after done, we have to put a semicolon.
Yes. I mean, in a portal, it's working like this way only working. Let's say what does the semicolon does is it is saying the command is enter.
Okay.
Sir, you showed us how to submit a for command on the portal, but I think there is a problem with the if commands. If I echo something with an if command, nothing in the output is coming. Can you check it once on the portal?
Okay. Have you cleared out whether it's a true or false? One more thing, if you are using with this bracket, right? So if you are using single bracket or double bracket, you have to always have to give a space in between after that, after and before.
Sir, can you submit a dummy assignment on the portal with the if command?
Yeah, okay. Okay, here we will write the answer for PPA 1. Okay. It asks for the odd number arguments. Actually, it is expected in this way. So Yeah.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, you know it's a big problem, but we try to fix it as soon as possible. Yeah, sorry, I have been disconnected. Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, yeah. One thing about Vim editor, you can search help is you can type the keyword colon help and whatever the help you want. Like say you don't know how to use the file type, you don't know how to use the word keyword set within Vim, you can always type colon help then keyword. It works. In the EX mode. Okay. Yeah, if anything else, if nothing else, we can close the session. Any doubts or any questions so far?
No.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, thank you all. We'll wind up the session.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you have any queries, always post on Discourse. We also try to answer it as soon as possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.